I had a chance last night to show your new video to my kids. And they were
Okay.
literally dancing around the house. I have 5 kids, and they had a conga line. The only thing they didn't have was like a golf Caddyshack outfit on.
That's great. I actually ran into a young person, probably came up to just above my knee, and she said, "Play the robot song." No, she said, "Sing the robot song. Sing the robot song." I'm like, and she wouldn't let me get away until I did a moment of the song. So
Yeah.
it's having an effect on the young people out there for sure.
Yeah, and what does that mean to you? I mean, you have a new single out, I Feel Like Dancing. You got the music video with it. What does that mean to you as an artist that you have people connecting and feeling that magic?
It's such an honor. It's the goal, really. I mean, we are entertainers. We want to entertain whoever gets their ears on a song, or in this video case, gets their eyes on the song. And entertainment, I believe, is permission to free yourself, permission to move your body, get out of your head a little bit, back into your heart, into your limbs, permission to go back and into our youth a little more. I think the older we get, the more stiff we get, the less we move, and maybe we're concerned about how we may look to others. But music and entertainment is all about play. We play music. We don't work music. So the goal when people feast their ears on this is that they too start to play a little bit in their lives.
I like that. Feast your ears.
Yeah.
You can tell your approach. You've always had this authentic, just really connected approach to your craft. Where does that come from in your DNA? Where'd you develop that?
I've had a hard time being anyone else. I just spent most of my life just trying to figure out how to be me. Every now and then I find myself in a room with huge celebs or big artists, and I think, how did I get in this room? How am I here? And I can't hide the fact that I'm just a kid from a small town. I didn't get the best grades, but I did excel in arts in public school. So I'm thankful that my public school had arts education. And I would do summer programs where I get to sing and dance with my friends. And I still feel like that little kid. I still feel like I've got this enormous privilege to ride this ride, to go on these fun dance and sing-song adventures. So I bring that with me everywhere I go. As I've gone through this career over the last 20 years, I fell in love with yoga, with surfing, with cycling, with roller skating, and all of these things, with gardening. I have a garden here at my little ranch. And all these things I feel keep me grounded. They keep me sort of just very present to the human experience. And then music keeps me out of the darkness. As a creative person, my brain can be very creative and tell me that I'm not worthy. So I turn to music to remind myself that I am a powerful creator, that I can create here on this earth and make something beautiful occur. I'm very sensitive, so I see the world around me is always changing, and there's always conflicts somewhere to be viewed. And so music is a way for me to paint something in the world to counteract that, and to show that there is still beauty in this world that we can access.
Man, we got to tee you up with a platform to be a spiritual and wellness guru. I'm taking that in, but that's key. It seems like that's been a big part of your life, at least recently, and kind of giving you a whole new direction.
I've tried to also figure out, like, what's my purpose for doing this? When an audience comes to a show or they play your music on their CD or their platform, they're giving you their greatest wealth, which is their time and attention. If someone comes to a concert, they went through the trouble of buying a ticket, paying for parking, getting a babysitter, whatever they got to do, navigate the crowd, get into their seat. That's a lot of work. And then the 2 hours of sitting there at the show is more time. So I realized early on that this is precious time, and I need to make the most of this time for the audience. So I do look at myself as a bit of a yoga teacher in a way. Like, I got maybe 90 minutes with you. How can I take you on a transformational experience from your head into your heart? Let's all take a deep breath together.
Yeah.
And then I think singing is a beautiful act where you're really surfing the breath, and then you align that breath with positive affirmations and mantras that can actually, maybe transform your thoughts a bit. So I do try to find purpose in my songs. Yeah.
How long have you been in this game now, brother?
I've been lucky to be a professional musician since I was 21, and I'm 45 now.
Wow. So you're heading towards your 3rd decade.
Yeah, which is just wild. And I think the secret to my success is that I don't live in LA. I'm not in the scene. I really try to stay grounded and always come at this like a beginner. A beginner's mind is a great place to start.
Well, I can see that joy. It comes through in your music. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
For you, what have been some of the keys? I mean, you started this when you were 21 years old with, the bells and whistles. You're not even sure what you were going to do other than create.
Right.
What have you learned on this journey, and what has brought you to this fact that you still have stability, you have sustainability, and you've been able to keep creating? Again, most people would be happy for a couple of years. You're still going strong, and it looks like you're just getting warmed up.
Thank you. If I look back, I can easily pick it apart and say, oh, I wish I'd have done this differently. Oh, I can't believe I said those words or wore that outfit or whatever it is. I mean, even when I started, I was in and out, Jack in the Box, and I would even smoke cigarettes. And I learned very quickly that wasn't sustainable. If I was going to be a performer, I needed to work on the vehicle that was bringing forth this music and channeling this music. So I started working on, here's what I've learned. I have a little triangle on my triangle tattoo with a circle around it. And this is just some simple geometry that I put on my arm early on in the process. And it's to remind me to be whole in mind, body, and soul. So do something every day for my mind, whether it's read, whether it's journal, whether it's meditate, something for my body, some form of exercise, and something for my soul, mind, body, and soul. And oftentimes the music is the best, most soulful thing we can do. But you can also, get involved in community organizations. You can reach out to a friend, something that's just going to really nourish the soul and make you feel good about the day. And those are the things I've learned that I think has kept me going. Then when I come back to a page, or, I call it the page when I'm writing a song, the page is always blank. And in a way that can terrify you. It's like, well, what am I going to put on that page? But I love that it's always blank, because it's going to be blank for every artist out there. Every artist, painter, poet, writer, we all start from that blank place. So if we come to that place, nourished in our mind, body, and soul, then we're going to channel something beautiful and hopefully profound that gives us a transformational experience in the process.
Well, man, whatever you're doing, it is working, because I got to say, you still look like you're about 21 years old. So God bless you.
Thanks. It's all the avocados.
It works, having that ranch living. I'm from Nebraska, so the ranch thing sounds really, really nice right now.
I got very lucky. San Diego is a beautiful environment to grow food year round. I bought a little house in 2004, so out in the country, so I could make noise, play drums at the middle of the night, without my neighbors on the other side of the walls. And it just so happened that it was surrounded by avocado trees, and I've been very fortunate to take care of those trees ever since.
Let's jump into some of the specifics on what you have rolling now. You also have another single coming out called, I believe, Pancakes and Butter.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Tell me about what you got going here with this.
This is a cosmically sensual song. It's a love song. That's what it is. And it says, just like lightning and thunder, just like pancakes and butter, we complement one another. Ooh. Like a full moon and a fantasy. And so it's a very fantastical sounding, rich sounding song. I mean, the song sounds like syrup being poured over pancakes. So I'm thrilled that this is coming out. We actually just made a very campy music video for it. It's something new for me. And I've tried to do that with each album, is try to do something a little different each time to keep pushing myself as an artist.
I mean, what a perfect metaphor for anything in your life. Pancakes and butter. Who doesn't like pancakes and butter, right?
Right? Scrumptious.
I got to imagine this video is going to have some hot sauce, a little something different.
Yeah, there's a lot of syrup. There's a lot of syrup going down in this video.
Yes.
The premise is we're on a talk show. We're the musical guest, and the more we play our song, the more the audience, the hosts, the viewers, they kind of become unhinged a bit. They recognize how they complement each other. They recognize maybe even the attraction they have for each other. So things get a little heated up throughout the course of the song. There's even a weatherman, and he's got, his weather icons are heating up across the country. So it's pretty good.
I love talking to creators and artists like you, because your minds just are so unique. Where do you come up with your vision for each video, and how do you keep rebooting?
Honestly, the videos are the hardest part for me because I usually just start with sound and I start with words, and I want to make sure the words are working and that the sound around those words are working, and spend a lot of time making demos until we get into the studio to hopefully get it right. The video then becomes an afterthought because out of, say, 100 songs, a dozen make it on the record, and then out of a dozen, you get to make a handful of videos. So it's really an afterthought for me. And I work with a lot of different directors. I get a lot of treatments, and suddenly then I start to have an idea. You know, I could start sort of building a Pinterest board of how this could work, because I actually worry that a video could sort of undermine what the song's potential is. Because when you listen to a song, you as a listener get to go anywhere you want with it. You get to have your own thoughts, build your own world. And I sometimes get nervous that a music video will sort of put the song in a box, like this is what the song is. And it's not just that. This is just one version of it. I've gotten more comfortable with it through the years, but it's definitely not my favorite thing, is being on camera, surprisingly. I'd love to be on stage and do it live, but when you're on camera, it feels like forever. And you also feel like you're being observed. So that's a tricky part for me, but I been lucky to work with great directors, include my friends, my band, and just bring a sense of joy to the process. And then we just let go and have fun.
Two-time Grammy winner, multi-platinum. You've done so many things in your career. Let's talk about this 8th studio album. Please tell the world the title, the vibe, the feel, and what you want to launch into the world.
The title of my new album is called Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride.
Yes.
And that is life. That is life. You know, we're all spinning through the galaxy right now on this crazy ride that all the astrophysicists are trying to figure out why and what the purpose is. And at every level, we're trying to figure it out. And I feel like life comes full circle every once in a while. And yet when we come full circle, we're not always in the same spot. We're in a different spot. We have a new perspective now. So I call it full spiral. And much of this album is encouraged and inspired by women in my life. I work with an incredible band called Reigning Jane, 4 incredible women artists that have inspired me and have collaborated with me for many, many years. And the 5th woman in this project is my mom. And she has been encouraging me to make a pop album for quite a few years. And she said, hey, you're not getting any younger, so y'all should make a pop album. And we leaned into that. We really did, and went to New York City and created this very up-tempo driven, almost dare I say, dance album. And unfortunately, on the last day of our recording, my mom lost her husband, who was a musical inspiration to me. He was a drummer. He really gave me a lot of music in my life. And then about 2 weeks later, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And so we had recorded about 10 days of this album when all this news broke, and my mom's journey became a big driving part of this album for us. It's like, let's make it great. Let's get the words right. Let's get the orchestration right, and send my mom these updates. And I was going back and forth to Virginia to be on her team. And luckily now we're 7-8 months down the road. She is making it through to the other side. She's in remission. She's a little banged up, but her spirit is alive, and she's thrilled to hear this album and see it come to life. And I'm so happy that she's still with us. And this music, in a way, is in memory of my stepfather, who had a long, long life. He really did, on this mystical, magical, rhythmical, radical ride. They were huge champions of my musical life, and I wanted to make something great for them and something new for us. And that's what we've got. It's really an album about life. It looks at life. It looks at time traveled through life. It looks at loves in our lives. It looks at language that we can use to uplift and transform our lives. It looks at not giving up, because life is long and we always need encouragement and energy to reboot the system so that we can keep going. That's what it's about. It's an album about life through dance.
Man, I love that so very much. A tribute, giving your sweet mother, your sweet mama, flowers. What's your mom's name?
Her name is June Toms.
June Toms. Well, that's a beautiful story, man. I love it. And I'm sure I bet she'll be dancing her ass off too on this.
Absolutely. Yep. She's back on her feet.
God bless. Great to hear that. And sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Final question. We talked about the album. Tell me about this upcoming tour. I know fans are out there lining up, getting ready for some Jason Mraz.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to bring as many people as we can pack into a bus. I've got a huge band for this tour. We're hoping to bring this new album to life, as well as still try to tap into my catalog of songs. You know, we've got some amazing loyal fans out there. I'll meet people that say, I've seen you 17 times. I've been to 30 shows. I can't believe it. You know, I still treat every audience like it's their first time seeing the show. And maybe that's a secret to our success, because it's about the introduction and the inclusion. You know, we really want to make everyone feel seen, feel heard, feel special. It's a bunch of guys and gals on stage. It's a happy group of people, and hopefully that spills off the stage and into the audience.
It's an event.
It's an event. Exactly. It's a great evening out.
Bravo to you, man. I could talk to you all day. Congratulations. Cheers to continued success, man. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I like this new spinning vibe, man. You're going to get people really feeling good about life.
Thanks, Jon. I appreciate that. We're having the time of our lives.